Hello and welcome back to the Empower Lancaster Basic Training Series. My name is Christopher Thomas. So far in this series, we've looked at logging in and logging out of Empower Lancaster. We've also looked at how to find and view clients, basic information. Um, that still leaves several other links on the left side of the screen. This gray area is how you will navigate Empower Lancaster for the most part. So thus far, we've talked about just this top section, looking at a client, looking at their basic information, their case notes, their household members, as well as how to find clients. So briefly, I would like to talk about the rest of these buttons, what they do, when you'll use them. We will go into more detail in separate videos. So the first one you'll see is add/enroll client. This is how you will add clients, create an enrollment for your program. Empower Lancaster, everything's based on program enrollments, right? So if we want to enter case notes under an enrollment, you have to enroll that person. The same goes for services. Enrollments are also how we record important events, like a client entering a shelter, let's say, and doing assessments of their benefit status, income status, housing status. And then the exit from that enrollment is where we show that this client has benefited in some way. Their income has increased, they've gained benefits, they've exited to a permanent housing destination. So you'll hear the word enrollment a lot in Empower Lancaster. And what that means really is that a client has been added to a program and has a record of being enrolled there. Um, we'll talk a lot more about that later, but just know that clicking here is how you would access an enrollment option. The next one down here, previous clients. I'm not going to click this because doing so would show real client data, which I don't want to record. But if you click that link, it will take you to another page that will just show you the last 10 clients you've viewed. Power Lancaster remembers where you've been, what you've done in the system. If you find it easiest just to click on this previous clients to find someone who you were just working with, this is an option, but it's just the last 10 people who you've viewed. SDOH is social determinants of health. This is a whole other conversation and not one that we're going to worry about right now. Find client by address is exactly what it sounds like. The regular find client just gives you a few options. Finding client by address will let you do exactly that. So it's the same fields plus a few if you just have a client address to work with. Next down, we have assessments. This pops out, gives you more options. There's a lot of things in here. For the most part, you won't need to use most of them. Most of the assessments that you'll be using will be in the HUD area or potentially the VI SPDAT area. There'll be separate videos about assessments, what those HUD assessments are, what the VI is, but just know that if I wanted to get back to my client Sheldon's assessments, whether it was to enter a new assessment, to update an assessment, to view previous assessments, this is where your starting point would be. The other one down, next one down here, case management, is the other place that you will click on almost all the time, because this is what will take you to almost all of the important sections for this client, including adding family members, removing family members, adding services, editing, removing services, uploading documents, entering case notes. This really all happens via this case management menu. But again, despite all of these options, you will mostly just focus on a small handful, and we'll talk about that in a different video. Operational reports. This is data having to do with program enrollments, services entered, case notes entered, referrals entered. All of these things can be accessed through here. If, for instance, you wanted to get a look at all the people who are enrolled in a program of yours, you'd click here, select the program, pick the date range that you want to look at, and then get that report. And it'll give you a scan of the clients, when they were enrolled, what's their enrollment status. This is generally speaking going to be a good way to get a summary or a synopsis of what a program looks like right now. You can also go here to look at all the case notes you've entered or all the case notes entered for a particular client. So this case note report is also very useful. Last, we touched a little bit, but My Caseworthy, most of these links you will not need, but this here, My Caseworthy, again, this is where you can go back to change your password if you need to. So, in summary, this left-hand side here is how we navigate the different parts of the system. These are generally speaking marked pretty well. There will be separate videos that touch on how to enroll clients, client assessments, case management, and we'll talk a little bit about reports as well in a separate video. Thank you.